Hello, everybody, and welcome into Week 7 Game Day. I have sent the thing out. Let me know if you can hear me. You should be able to. Just want to always make sure. Shout out to myself with my new graphics I've been making for these game days. I really like this one. I think it came out really sweet. I'm interested to see what Dogwater has to say. Let me know if you can hear me. I want to make sure you guys can before we get started. If you're new to the SFA, this is a 140-man This is an online dynasty ran entirely through Discord. You can recruit, coach. You don't need the game to play. So we got Miami versus Florida State, a huge rivalry. Unfortunately, both these teams haven't really had the best success or quite kind of the season that they've been looking to have, but they're still getting game day. Let me know if you can hear me. Do you like my graphic? I made sure your USC horse was here, stealing my stuff. Okay, cool. Yeah, let me know if you like this graphic. McNasty and I kind of switch off. But yeah, let's get into it. So, Miami, they have a lot of SFA players. They've been in the playoff conversation for the last 3 seasons. Their biggest booster is Matt Barkley, the former SFA player, Hall of Famer. And he wanted Mark Liu to start, so that's who's starting. He is an SFA in-game recruit, and he's having a good season. 1,400 yards, 17 TDs, and 3 interceptions. Pretty good player. He's having a decent year. Van Dyke is the backup. He was the starter last year, and then they lost the ACC championship, and then they also lost their bowl game. They got stomped by Arizona. Knighton here, but the starter is Jerick McKinnon, the redshirt senior, 94 speed, so very interested to see how he plays. At wide receiver, we've seen Keyshawn Smith his entire career. He's a beast. Brashard Smith, we've seen a little bit of him. Allen Robinson, the SFA players in the slot now, and Joe Shaw here. Martavius Bryant, I don't think we'll see him all that much today, but he is an SFA player. Tight end, they got Khalil Brantley and Arroyo. We've seen these two guys on and off. And then their line is pretty good. High 80s everywhere. With the way that this season is crumbling, you'd think this team is probably still going to win the division. Chance Williams on one side, and one of the 4 99 overalls in the SFA, God's Power Offer. He's the man, the myth, the legend on the bottom line there. He has the turnover chain, and he has God's Power Offer, certified chain snatcher. One of my favorite players in the SFA. So glad he's here, and he's still trucking along. Watch out for number 95. He is going to kill people on the opposing defense. And then they have one really good defensive lineman, and then the rest just are complete trash. At linebacker, they did lose Telvin Smith last year. They still got Flagg in the middle, and they have Avery Huff on the other side. And then they aren't really strong at cornerback, but remember, cornerback is a pretty weak position in the SFA just in general. And then you got Avante Williams and the redshirt freshman Titus Robinson here in the back. They do have Sendejo, who will be coming up here soon. And then they have a really good kicker, and punter, not all that great. And now we go to Coach Lamas, who's coming off a very, very tough loss. Obviously, he is Braxton Miller in his senior season. And if you look at his season so far, 15-2, both quarterbacks are having great seasons, but their teams just have not been able to put together wins. Jake Johnson as well. He had an injury-riddled 2015. This season he's already eclipsed what he was doing last season. And then at wide receiver, he tampered Mike Evans away from Pittsburgh. You got Burrell and McLean, and then Terry Nichols is an SFA player. He's the 4th man. Tight end, you got West and Pearson. Offensive line, once again, is really good. You thought a lot of people picked this team to make the playoffs or win their division, but right now Boston College looks to have a stranglehold. So I feel like this is a must-win for Florida State. I don't think they can lose another game in conference if they want to win the division. They got to hope that Boston College stumbles. Green Knight, he had a season-ending injury last year. Jason Young, he is hurt, so you're going to see Brandon Pollard probably at cornerback. One of the better cornerback classes in the country. Adonis Sanders is an SFA player, so watch out for him. And then the number 2 player in the class from last season, I believe, either number 2 or number 3, but Ja'Cory Williams, he is their starter. He is a beast. Surprisingly, though, the ball hawk does not have an interception yet this year. Will that change today? 94 speed, he should be all over the field. And then freshman Cody Stallone, the in-game recruit that committed last year, he is behind, but you might see him in certain packages play. Got Ryan Fitzgerald. So the kicking on both sides is pretty good, so I don't expect it to be all that bad. Alrighty, so before we get into the game, we got to do the prediction here. So I always put 2 minutes up. This has nothing to do with the spread or anything, just a straight up, who do you think is going to win? Do you think Miami's going to take it out? We've seen both rosters. Or do you think Florida State? It is at Florida State, so they're going to have a good home field advantage. This game's being played at 8 p.m., so definitely a big home field advantage for them. So let's start this prediction here. You got 2 minutes. Let me know. Throw your channel points out there. Let's see who you guys got. And then Llamas, if you are here, let me know so you can choose your jerseys. Currently, nobody is pitching, so I see 6 of you here, so you guys should start throwing your channel points in. Remember, picking is the best way. You got 2 minutes. Pick, pick, pick. There you go. We got 174, and remember, you can do more than 10 points. Slosh those points on there, boys. So I think Florida State, we're probably going to go some cool uniforms for him. Except I think that they're kind of probably a bore. Ooh, you got all black? We might have to... Whoo. Dogwater, do you have an opinion on good Florida State jerseys? I like these all black ones. All black, and then I guess Parley. You like classic all day long? Well, you're a loser. All right. Let me get my thumbnail before we start here. You want that patented garden in gold. It's just a boring... Alright, you don't want the black. Alright. Oh, that's what it is. Okay. So you want to be boring and just do your home jerseys. Well then, if we're going to be boring here, then we're going to do... And we'll do Alt 10. We'll give them a little pop of color then. Alright. So it looks like... Did you guys make your predictions? You did. 81% of the points are on Florida State tonight. Oh boy, you guys are setting yourselves up for failure here. Alright, Miami or Florida State. Who is going to take it? Here we go. I mean, it's not... I put it up for 2 minutes. It's not my fault if you guys, don't want to risk your channel points. This is a tough game to pick, absolutely. Alrighty, God's Power offer right there, number 95 on the road here. Pretty much a must-win for both coaches and both teams at this point in the season. You look at that, Boston College, obviously. You know, if you take another loss, Florida State, you may not have a chance at the division. Miami, look at this. Look at this. It's just gross. I think Miami clearly is going to win this division again, unless Pittsburgh stops sucking. But we'll see. They got a big win over Syracuse today, so you never know. Miami, we've seen frequently over the last few years. Florida State, last time we saw them, Braxton Miller, they choked against Virginia Tech. Oh man, we don't. I thought that there was a thing where they like showed the guy planting the spear into the ground, but I guess not. We're here in Doak Campbell. Oh, whatever the Seminole chant is. It's just me on commentary tonight. I put it out there. Nobody wanted to, so it's gonna be a big game here. I'm excited. So we are off. Florida State's getting the ball first. We're going to see Braxton Miller to start the game. Last game, he went 1 for 5 for 13 yards. So I guess he must have got knocked out of the game potentially. That's not a great game at all. So Braxton Miller, you got Jake Johnson, then you got Mike Evans and Terry Nichols on the offense. That's who you should watch out for tonight. So they're going to run quick option to start. God's Power offer hits Braxton Miller, but he gets it off to Jake Johnson. And that's an encouraging play to start, honestly, if you're Florida State. Obviously, it didn't go for much, but the quick option historically, as you guys all know, is a meme play. It's terrible in these games. But he got the pitch off against the best player on the field. So that's encouraging for the futures. Jake Johnson, oh my God, God's Power offer just took the life out of that man. And already 2 plays, God's Power offers making a huge impact. Oh, man, just a blindside hit there. Wild. So already 3rd and long. Braxton, he dumps it off. There is some room there, and he's pushed out. Jake Johnson gets so 3 plays, 3 touches for Jake Johnson. They want to get him hot early, but they are punting. So definitely not the start that Florida State wanted, especially at home. Miami is a veteran team on game day. They've been here for years and years. Fortunately, they lost the ACC championship last year. So the first time we've seen him, Mark Liu at quarterback. Look at him. He is a big boy. I didn't realize how big he was. Mid-screen here is Brashard Smith. He used to be like the 4th man. Now he's up to number 2 on the depth chart. Like, they've had guys like Charleston Rambo and Xavier Restrepo come through this program the last few years. Jerick McKinnon's in the backfield, the SFA player. As Mark Liu's going to keep it, he's not really known for his speed, but he gives him a stiffy, and then he breaks the tackle. Number 23 is going to be put on Shackin' a Fool today. Stiffy then breaks that tackle. What a play by Mark Liu to start the game. Absolutely ridiculous. He is not known for his running ability, but that was an absurd start. And he keeps it again, and he is not protecting that ball all that well, but he goes for 12. Oh, man, a great start here for Mark Liu on the ground, the in-game recruit that decided to go to Miami. He has Matt Barkley's vote of confidence, so you know he's a savage. And you know Miami's hyped up on Latina Juice. As Jerick McKinnon, he does get the first carry of the game there. This goes for 8. He got the start over Jalen Knighton, who was the preseason favorite at the Heisman. So Matt Barkley obviously having such a hand in this program is making questionable decisions, but they may or may not be working out. As 3rd and 6 now, that's Ja'Cory Williams on the tackle, and that's an impressive tackle. Comes across the line from the free safety position and gets a -4 loss. He's a ball hawk. He's not really known for his run-stopping abilities, but that was impressive. Now Mark Liu. And pressure, he gets it off. That's the tight end, Joe Shaw. Or the number 4 guy, I believe. And Miami is quickly in business. They're in the red zone. A big 3rd down conversion. Now they are crowding the line. They're going to throw it all the time in the world, and Mark Liu just overthrows his man there. So an interesting start here for Miami, but it's looking good. Hand it off here. Jerick McKinnon has a big hole. He runs through one guy. That's 7. So manageable 3rd and short now. Number 23 is not having the best drive as he's been missing. I believe that's already his 3rd missed tackle. And they come out empty here on 3rd and 3. Martavis Bryant is in the middle. And it's a QB draw. And Lou, he cannot get there. So a man who has mid-70 speed, Adonis Sanders, makes the tackle there. A big play. Number 25 is Adonis Sanders. So Miami's looking. They are going to bring out the field goal team. Remember, these are 2 pretty capable kickers. So I do expect the kicking game to be utilized today, as it normally isn't. And there it is. Miami takes the first lead of the ball game. As we take a look at one of the big upsets here, TCU over Oklahoma State. And something to note, Anthony Black, he is an SFA player. This is his first career start because the TCU quarterback is out. And he threw for 5 touchdowns. Obviously not the best completion percentage, but a huge win in his debut. So that's always great to see. All right, so a pretty decent drive for Miami. I'm not too impressed with Florida State's defense as he finds the edge here. I'm not all that impressed with the Florida State defense, honestly. They did get a stop, though. But you got to hope that we can see some life out of Braxton Miller and Jake Johnson here. And Mike Evans, number 13 at the top of your screen. Terry Nichols is number 84. Jake Johnson hit another touch, so he's had every touch here for the Seminoles. Cameron Kitchens takes him down. So finding nothing on the ground early. You'd think that they'd have Braxton run it a little bit with his 90-plus speed. They hand it off again, Jake Johnson. And he tries to get to the outside, but the speed of the Miami defense catches up to him. They know speed's important on game day. So it's clear Florida State's game plan has pretty much just give it to Jake Johnson, and it's not really working out. As they are going to throw it this time. Braxton, and he is sacked. Braxton goes down. Number 81, Jared Harrison Hunter. A unique number on defense for a unique player as he takes him down, and that's 2 straight 3-and-outs for Florida State. Coach Lama's already looking like this game might be getting out of hand. Yeah, Coach Lama's in a must-win game. You can't have 2 3-and-outs to start. It's just... But you know what? The defense came up. So let's see what they can do. Obviously, Mark Liu is a young, inexperienced QB. You know, both teams have had good quarterback play, but they're 3-2. So something's got to give. Is McKinnon. Huge hole up the middle. And then hands it off again. Huge hole to the outside. But they kind of collapsed pretty easily there. But really early, Miami's having a lot of running lanes. Not a lot of push into the backfield by this defensive line. Coming out in pistol once again. Miami, they have a bunch of time. He goes deep. He has a man open. He breaks a tackle. And he pushes a man inside the 5. Khalil Brantley, the tight end on the out route, the corner route there, he breaks one tackle, and Ja'Cory Williams finally takes him down inside the 5. But, man, Florida State's tackling has been subpar at best to start this game. First and goal, Mark Liu in the pistol. Hands it off to McKinnon, who's brought down. A big play in the backfield by Green McKnight. He spent all of last season on the bench with a broken leg. Second and goal. They're lining up under center. They hand off to McKinnon again, and he does not get in. So all of a sudden, Florida State showing that they have a backbone. This is a huge play for Florida State. Can they get off the field and force another field goal? Goal line formation out. They're going to throw it. Mark Liu, he has time. He throws it deep into double coverage, and it's caught. Elijah Arroyo, he got just enough separation, and Mark Liu floated it over the top. Miami goes up 10. That was a dangerous ball. I mean, if the defenders got their head around, that could have been a pick. Double coverage, and he goes there. I thought he was going to go to the running back. The U is not a meme, Flame. Come on, boy. So, a bad start here for Florida State. You gotta hope they can climb back in. Obviously, nothing's ever... and they come out in some weird pistol. And they, once again, hand it off. And we got a flag. And an offsides on the defense on Ryan Sherman. You don't see that all that much, especially on a first down of the drive. So a little luck out of Florida State here. And they finally get a first down. Thank you, Flame, for contributing. And Braxton fits it into double coverage to Mike Evans. And there it is, the first down of the game for Florida State. Took them 8 minutes. And the first time they don't go to Jake Johnson. Remember, if we hit that goal, you'll get another recruit. As Braxton Miller, once again on the quick option, Florida State has been unable to establish the run game today. Just nothing. When you let those D ends get out into contain, those option plays have no chance. As the fans are already booing, calling for Lama's job, as Braxton Miller overthrows a wide open man on the comeback. Oh, babe. The only thing worse than hearing a stadium doing the Seminole chant is hearing the boos from the home crowd. Braxton, 3rd and 11. This time he does it again, and it's going to be short. Malik McLean cannot get to the edge, and that's just, you can't do that. And that's poor coaching. If you're a wide receiver, you need to know where the sticks are and run the out route to the sticks. There's no reason to run it short. You're going to be screwed. And we saw that right there. As this punt goes right to the boundary, he is going to return it, and Jalen Knighton delivers a helmet straight to the chest. Oof. So can Miami go up 3 scores now? I mean, this crowd is silent. Florida State has no momentum as they run a screen pass. Jerick McKinnon, he gets out there. He breaks a tackle, and he only gets 2 there. Nice tackling. It seems like every play, Florida State just can't get that first tackle. It feels like Miami on every single play is getting yards after contact. So they're lining up under center, a little offset eye here, maybe some power running incoming. And McKinnon somehow gets there. He breaks 2 tackles. Man, Florida State's doing everything right. They are just not making the stop. You have two guys in the backfield. You let them cut inside. Then you have two guys right there to mitigate that gain, make it a hard third down. And then this time they make the play. Sidney Williams finally makes a tackle, and as the first quarter closes, Miami is up 10-0, but Florida State's going to be getting the ball back. That was a huge play for the defense. Obviously, it won't make the highlight video or anything crazy, but that kept this game at least somewhat close for right now. You got to get something going. That was the first positive play of the day for Florida State. Everything else has been just terrible. All right, Braxton, can you do something here? They're running quick option, and he keeps it, and he's once again going nowhere. Cameron Kitchens in the backfield this time. I mean, yeah, God's power offer out there, but he's not having to do much, you know? It's just play contain, play your gaps, and you're going to make a tackle there. This is the first positive run for Jake Johnson. He gets 7. He had to break a tackle, though. And Florida State, another 3rd and short now. They're 0 for 3 so far. Can they extend this drive? Braxton. Wide open man there. It's Terry Nichols. Or Joshua Burnell. My bad. Nichols is 84. We would know if Braxton actually threw the ball. But a wide open button hook there, and he got it out quickly. Didn't allow the safety to collapse. A nice positive play there. Perhaps the best play on the day so far for FSU. Jake Johnson. Oh my God, that's stiffy. God's power offer pushes him out, but that was maybe one of the worst stiffies I've ever seen. That man is bricked up. Holy smokes. That man's back hit the turf. And now they're dumping it off here. This time the backup running back, I believe, Corey Wren. Oh, we got a Miami fan here from Wyoming. Welcome in, welcome in. And this is a unique screen here as Jake Johnson, he's trying to deliver another stiffy. He does not. And it appears Jake Johnson's broken wrist from last season has definitely healed as he delivered some powerful stiffies so far. Quick option, and Braxton's not going to get it off. Flag on the tackle for Chance Williams in the backfield. And that's kind of a drive killer. Now it's a 3rd and long. And you got to think they're out of field goal range. Yeah, you love to see him going up in flames, baby. And oh my God, that was a duck if you've ever seen one. Braxton Miller trying to throw it away. Luckily for them, they're just going to settle for the punt. And it looks to be a good one. And they're going to pin him deep. Mastromano gets it down deep. That's one of the better punts we've seen. I did too. I mean, I don't know. We got to see. But he's not having a great start. As this is a quick throw to the outside. And Brashad Smith, why did he cut up field? If he stayed to the boundary, he might have still been running. I mean, Mark Liu, 6 for 7. He's having a great start, but I've seen Braxton throw a few ducks, overthrows, so not necessarily a great start. Liu, though, over the middle. That's a first down. Joe Shaw. As the Florida State fans are calling for Braxton Miller to be benched here in the chat. Jerick McKinnon, another wide open hole. Ja'Cory Williams, though, had to help there on the tackle. McKinnon's already had 10 touches here in the first half. Miami's no you know, Georgia Peach. They're gonna probably make some mistakes. They're 3-2 for a reason, as he finally gets some penetration and gets sacked. Malcolm Ray on the tackle. Mark Liu, you held on to that way too much. Dump it off to Jake Johnson. He also had Joe Shaw opening up over the middle. He thought about throwing away. He just couldn't get it off. He had to swallow it in a 3rd and long now. Mark Liu. Over the middle, wide open man. Brashad Smith again. He had guys around him, but he found a pocket. And that ball was on a rope. Mark Liu throws a nice ball. He's taller than I thought he was. He's like super tall. I don't know if he's tall or if Jerick McKinnon's just super short. But Keyshawn Smith makes his first grab of the day. Obviously, we've seen him be a staple in this offense for 4 years. He's made plenty of plays. And they're going to fake the handoff, throw it quickly to Brashad Smith, so he's having himself a great start to the day. Mark Liu has only 1 incompletion so far, as they're running a little offset eye now, and he throws that one immediately away. He must have either had his foot stepped on or something, but he just didn't like what he saw. So 3rd and short. We're about midway through the second quarter here. 10 points. And Mark Liu, he gets it once again to Brashad Smith, who is just eating up these defenders. 5 receptions already in this first half. Looks like Mark Liu and Brashad Smith definitely have a good connection. Hands it off now, Jerick McKinnon, and he just cannot get out of the backfield, and that is a big loss. Adonis Sanders on the tackle, SFA guy. Number 25 there coming across the formation. He just cleaned that up. We got Mark Liu. He throws it to McKinnon. Oh, and McKinnon gets destroyed there. Once again, Malcolm Ray making a big stop on the defense. That one was going nowhere. So what seemed to be like at least being in field goal range, Miami's now going backwards. They might be right on the edge. All the time in the world, they were rushing one man, and he puts it in to Brashad Smith, but we have a flag. And a pass interference on the offense, Keyshawn Smith. So they decide to rush one man. Mark Liu eats him up, but they get a offensive pass interference call. So Florida State is getting lucky, bailed out here. Oh, man. OPI, yep. As they go deep again, 3rd and 25, and Keyshawn Smith cannot moss Travis J. He will not let that happen, and Miami has to punt. But man, Mark Liu throws a nice ball. He looks the part. I thought he might be starting a year early, but Matt Barkley was right when he decided to start him. As Corey Wren, 9-yard return. All right, they come out now. Can we finally get some good plays? As just perfect option defense there for Miami. A man takes the handoff man, covers the quarterback, and then the corner covers the running back. Just nothing Florida State could do there. Perfect defense. Florida State hands it off. No, Braxton keeps it, and he just doesn't make a decision. He thought about keeping it to the outside, then passed on the hole right up the middle and went right into 2 defenders. What is he doing? Braxton just doesn't seem to have the brain, as they now are empty on 3rd and long. It's just a QB run, and Braxton only gets a yard. I gotta say, man, this run offense from Florida State so far has been abysmal. Just downright bad. And I don't think Braxton Miller is good enough to have the whole game on him. So Miami's going to get the ball back in great field position. Jalen Knight, he takes it, he breaks tackle, and he's going to have it about the 47. Yeah, we've seen some highly rated quarterbacks not perform all that great. Gameday has just been weird this season. I think next week will be a fun one, though. We got, most likely, it's going to be Colorado and Nebraska. I got to look through everything again a little deeper, but Mark Liu, he makes another completion to Joe Shaw this time. And we've yet to see Allen Robinson get involved, the SFA wide receiver. And he's being covered by Adonis Sanders, the FSU corner, who is an SFA player. So it looks like Adonis Sanders is going crazy today. Number 25, the bottom of the screen here. So minute 30, can Miami extend this lead? Joe Shaw over the middle. Nothing doing there, though. Gunnar Cruz, even he didn't really play all that well. He just didn't make a mistake. He just played a lot better than Kiko, who played downright bad. You know, Miami's not really doing all too hot, only 10 points, but Florida State is just disgusting today. Mark Liu hands it off. Jerick McKinnon, 3rd and 4, and oh man, you'd have liked to see something happen there. So is Miami gonna run the clock here, or are they just gonna punt it? Looks like Florida State's coming after this. Tamper you a QB. I mean, with that budget, you could just recruit one. Tampering, at most, you're only going to get 3 years out of your guy unless you get a redshirt freshman. So about 20 seconds left here. They're going to let that go into the end zone. Is Florida State going to try to score here? You're going to get yourself a Jimmy G. Or no, Gunnar Cruz is your Jimmy G. 19 seconds. It looks like Florida State might try something here. Jake Johnson, he gets 6. They're going to let the clock run, though. They're not going to use their timeouts. So it looks like Florida State is content going to the half. Miami leads here. Kind of a boring game. 10-0. So the playoff committee is starting in 3 weeks. For you, those of you who haven't been here before, the coaches are the playoff committee. 5 coaches will be randomly selected. If you would like to be on the playoff committee, please DM me. Here are the requirements, though. You have to have voice chat, because the playoff committee is recorded and posted as a VOD, so everybody can see what happened. There's 6 total meetings, so 10 through 14, and then conference championship weeks. The meetings are always right after game day. Okay? Obviously, you must not be biased. You will not talk when your team is being discussed, and you must be civil. If you would like to be on the playoff committee for Season 10, please DM me. If you were on it last year, you're not eligible to be on it to start. You can be an alternate, though. So if I don't have enough for a week, then I can call you in to fill in. So let me know. And then secondly, our title sponsor today is Latina Juice. Obviously, the man, the myth, the legend, Matt Barkley, the creator, along with me. It's the #1 recommended PED by 9 out of 10 SFA players. That one SFA player that doesn't use Latina Juice is a backup. So get yourself some Latina Juice at your nearest PED facility or your nearest SFA back channel, and we'll get you hooked up. So remember, if you want to be on the playoff committee, let me know. As we get into the second half here, Miami will start with the ball. So Miami is known for having a fantastic second half. at halftime they go into the locker room and do Latina juice, either by injection, enema, or just pill. So typically Miami has the upper hand in the second half, but Florida State, you never know. We'll see what happens here. They might have gone light today because they're already up 10-0. They're not used to playing with a lead. So Mark Liu, they come out here. Beautiful blocking all the time in the world. And Mark Liu's going deep. He's jamming it, and it was underthrown. Rashad Smith had like 3 steps on the defender, but Mark Liu, he just threw it a little too late. And that's just a mistake from a young QB. He had a touchdown there. Mark Liu, though, they come back. He's going deep again, and he overthrows him this time. Oh, my. Mark Liu definitely on the roids today. One play underthrows, and then the next play overthrows by like 30 yards, and that was an easy touchdown. Oh, that makes me sick. So Florida State gets lucky on a 3-and-out. They should have given up 2 touchdowns there. Instead, they're going to get the ball back, only down 2 scores. Is Florida State going to make a comeback here? This is a must-win for Coach Lama. And Braxton takes off, and he's caught from behind. Once again, he cannot find any running room. Jafari Harvey. He gets the swim move, and he gets to the QB. My man looks like Lamar during the skills challenge. Chill, chill. Mark Liu is not a running QB. Can Braxton Miller's looking more like Lamar today. As they're going to run a screen pass, and that is just, he cannot even connect. The defender blew that line up, and Braxton only has 49 yards. This man was leading the country in pass yards at one point. Oh, man. Just a terrible game so far for... As he finally connects with Mike Evans here, and he can't get the first down. Well, Florida State looks to be punting unless they get aggressive here, and they will not. So Florida State's going to try to pin them deep now. No punt, or no fake punt. I thought that might have been an option there. As a good punt, though, he forces him to take the fair catch at the 10. Normally, you just let that go. So Miami is kind of stuck in the backfield a little bit. Florida State might be playing a little better today in the second half as they finally get some good run defense. This time it's, I believe that was Green Knight. Green McKnight, yep, Jarius Green McKnight. So a 2nd and long, they're once again coming out in this I formation. Handing it up, nothing special as Jerick McKinnon does break a tackle, but he stumbled a little bit. He couldn't find that outside before the safety cleaned him up. 3rd and 5. So can FSU get the ball back quickly here? Mark Liu. And that is thrown into double coverage. He was looking for Joe Shaw. The first questionable throw of the day, honestly, for Mark Liu. That was thrown at somebody. And Florida State's getting the ball back here. Wren, he stiffies a man. And they're going to start in Miami territory. So starting out on the 42, you have to get points out of this FSU. Jake Johnson finally has some room as he's hit down after 4. 9 rushes for 20 yards for Jake Johnson, who was a Heisman contender last season before he broke his wrist. He's fallen off severely, though, since then. SFU needs to get to 9 wins to avoid spinning the wheel. Braxton, he gets it out, and once again, Malik McClain runs a little bit short of the line. So a big 3rd and short incoming now. Can Florida State convert Fakes the handoff. He's going deep. And that just flings out of bounds. Braxton Miller was rolled into as he let that go. It had to impact the throw. And you're punting! Oh, this is horrific. How can you be punting this? You're on their 33. That is the weeniest punt I've ever seen, and that goes right into the end zone. It's a net 13-yard difference. Brother, you gotta go for that. You're down 2 scores. Llama is choking. He wants to get fired. Miami has the ball back now. And I just got to cheer for Miami at this point. Like, come on. Beat Florida State into a bloody pulp. This is ridiculous. Get this man off this team. Make him go to some G5. This is ridiculous. A team of this talent, as they get him in the backfield now. Just a bad call on the toss on 2nd and short. Adonis Sanders, his 3rd tackle for loss. As right now I have 2 highlights for the day. This game has been shit. We knew this was a questionable game day choice, but come on. Throw me a bone here, Mark Liu. Over the middle, and a stiffy, and he gets the first down. Khalil Brantley having himself a day. Can we finally get some score in here? Liu, and he is brought down in the backfield. Ryan Shazier, the SFA player, he's actually, I believe, getting the start because of the hurt linebacker. So a guy who we thought was going to be a career backup is actually getting some playing time. You love to see that. Yeah, Shazier is playing. Number 53, I believe. As they hand it off to Joe Shawn. That's Shazier once again in the backfield. You love to see Shazier making plays 2 in a row. Let's go, baby. Love to see a guy put work into actually getting some game time. And that's over the middle. Keyshawn Smith, can he get there? No, he is short. So Florida State will be getting the ball back. Trade in punts here in the 3rd quarter. Mark Liu honestly not having that big of a game, but better than Braxton Miller. Can Florida State do something? Their best offensive player has been Corey Wynn on the punt returns. He gets 5 yards. And as the bottom line is showing, trouble in Tallahassee is damn right. Llamas looks to be on his last legs unless they can do something here. Braxton Miller, he keeps it. He finally has some room. He spins down for 5. I will say, though, as bad as Florida State has been, they've not been turning the ball over today, which we normally see from teams who are playing, who have 0 points in the 3rd quarter. Jake Johnson now. And I don't think we've ever had a shutout on game day. I believe as bad as blowouts we've had, I think we've always had scores. Yeah, snoozer is right, Nick. They hand it off. Jake Johnson, and he doesn't get it. Oh, my God, and they're going to punt. Nick, you missed a punt from Florida State on 3rd and 1 on the opposing 33. And they punted it into the end zone, so it was a net 13 yards. Miami's actually been playing well on offense. It's just they've stalled out. Florida State's just been horrendous. So the defense is showing out here in Tallahassee. Can Miami? Mark Liu overthrew a few touchdowns earlier in this quarter. Since then, they've done nothing. And this time, he gets Keyshawn Smith early. The defender tried to jump the route, and he missed it. So Keyshawn Smith gets a big throw now. And, number 3, he went for that pick. You got to give him props for going for it. But he might have wanted to go on the other side there. Ja'Cory Williams had to take him down. Can we see Ja'Cory Williams make a play? Florida State needs a spark, and it's not going to come from the offense. You got to get a spark on defense here. They run a counter. Jerick McKinnon, and he just breaks all these tackles and gets a first down. Jerick McKinnon, only 60 yards. Braxton. Or not, it's not Braxton, as he hits Brashad Smith. I don't know why I said Braxton. One of the biggest plays on the day from either team. Brashad Smith gets him now down into scoring range here. A beautiful corner route. Or like some sort of cross out route. I don't know what you call that. A levels concept, I guess. They're inside the 20. If you're Florida State, you got to stop them for a field goal if you have any chance. You can't let this get to 3 scores. You're not coming back. Lou, play action to the end zone. Wide open man, Joe Shaw, touchdown, Miami. The play action got him, and nobody had Shaw in the back of the end zone. What a blown coverage there. That's the most wide open touchdown you'll ever see. As they'll be showing that play for play action for years to come. They faked him out so badly. I think that was Ja'Cory Williams. Oh, man. Nobody in the back of the end zone there. So Florida State getting absolutely embarrassed. As Mike Williams, he has some room here. And look at this defense. 77 yards, 2 sacks. We have never seen a shutout on game day. Is Miami on their way? Miami with an impressive defensive performance. And surprisingly, God's Power Offer, his biggest plays were on the first 2 snaps. As Coach Lama is whining on the sidelines. As there's a stiffy. Burrell, can they get him back in the game? It's crunch time now. Is Florida State going to wake up and start playing? 71 yards for Braxton Miller. But really, the problem is they've tried to establish Jake Johnson all night. It just hasn't happened. As Braxton Miller, he uses his speed, gets to the outside, he breaks a tackle. Braxton Miller for 19. All right, Florida State's moving it. That is by far, I think they just tripled their rushing output on the day on one run. I think they had like 10 yards total. Florida State, this is their best drive of the day. Split backs. They hand it off to Jake Johnson, and he runs over him, and he was looking for the contact there. He could have just ran by him, but instead he wanted to put his crown right into his chest. Runs him over. And a quick throw out to Burrell, who breaks 2 tackles. Joshua Burrell clearly being the best threat on the offense on this drive. He doesn't want to get embarrassed by Miami. Come on, this is a rivalry, for crying out loud. Get your head in the game, boys. And that is blown up by God's Power Offer. Johnson tried to switch directions, and flag takes him down. Look at the penetration from God's Power. That man's a savage. As the third quarter comes to an end here in Tallahassee, Miami is up 17-0. And Coach Lama's career at Florida State might be coming to an end. You got to get to 9 wins. But you know what? You can spin the wheel. If you get to 7, it's not that big of a chance of getting fired. So you're still probably in a fine spot. But definitely a disappointing. But it's not over yet. We've seen huge quarters before. Can Braxton get back? He's going deep to start it, and that's connect. And they call it incomplete. Oh, Braxton just a little too far. Braxton Miller choking in the biggest moments. Wide open man there, and then they fake the handoff. Braxton, oh, and he throws it right to the defensive back. He threw it on the run. Right to Kitchens. Braxton, what are you doing? Just an atrocious play call. Miami takes over. He overthrows a wide open man, and then he throws a pick. And Mark Liu's going deep now, and he almost throws it right back. Adonis Sanders drops it. Oh, man, and this just doesn't feel like it's quite over. As they toss it out, McKinnon, he has some room. That does not go for much, only 2. I don't know what your backups overall is. You got to look at the roster video. But it's Florida State, so I'm assuming it's not that terrible. Mark Liu. And he just throws that, and it's a rainbow, and he connects with Joe Shaw. What a throw. I thought he was just throwing it away, but he rainbows it to Joe Shaw, who tiptoes, and Miami is feeling it. This Joe Shaw-Mark Liu connection is insane. Keyshawn in motion. They hand it off. Jet sweep. He has a bunch of room. Keyshawn Smith for 12 or 13. And Florida State is getting embarrassed at home. We haven't heard this crowd since the pregame. Is Florida State, are they going to get skunked at home? And that was a miscommunication right there. He thought he was going to keep running up the seam, and he turned around for the button hook. Can Miami extend this lead? Mark Liu, he keeps it, and he goes nowhere. Ja'Cory Williams on the tackle in the backfield. Only his second tackle on the day. Miami goes to the end zone. He's open. Joe Shaw connection again. Joe Shaw single-handedly killing the Seminoles here today. Miami goes up 24-0. All roads lead to Joe Shaw. Holy smokes. I mean, LSU is losing. They're bad too. It's the same thing as last season. Florida State and LSU are the two users who are most likely to... Yeah, Lou got laid out on that TD. Whew, dude, 38 plays. Man, Florida State, 117 yards. You've never seen an offense this bad. Florida State makes Iowa State last week look like the 2013 Broncos. Braxton, he takes off, though. And God's power offer tackles him from behind. Braxton. They come out in shotgun. It's not technically over, still a 3-possession game, but it sure as hell feels like it. Terry Nichols makes his first appearance on the day, but it's still 3rd and short. He couldn't keep his feet. Once again, Braxton is inaccurate, and look at that, 1 for 10 on 3rd down on the day. Just a stinky performance here from Coach Lama. They hand it off, and they get the 3rd down conversion. 2 for 11. You'll love to see it. Jake Johnson only 32 yards on the day. Just ridiculously bad. Braxton, over the middle, caught, but immediately tackled Malik McLean again. And Coach Lama's once again blaming his players for his terrible coaching. And that is a connection. That looked like a bad pass, but Burrell converts. So at this point for Florida State, it's just about pride and not becoming the first team in SFA history to get shut out on game day. I think everybody wants to see it. He goes deep, wide open man, Terry Nichols. And they get down to the red zone. This is the biggest drive so far on the day for Florida State, but it looks to be way too late as they're down 3 scores with only 5 minutes left. They're at the 22-yard line. Florida State, they're bringing a blitz, and Braxton escapes. He has some room on the edge, and he runs inside the 5, and that's why you have Braxton Miller. He finally shows off the wheels, gets him out of a sticky situation. He escapes the rush, a beautiful block by Jake Johnson, and he gets inside the 5. Where was this the first 3.5 quarters? First and goal. Can Florida State get their first points on the day? Braxton keeps it. He cuts inside. Touchdown, Braxton Miller. The first touchdown of the day, and they will not be shut out as they decide to go for 2 here. Obviously down 3 scores. They need to. Hands it off. No, he keeps it, and they get the 2-point conversion. Braxton Miller keeping it himself, showing why he was a top 10 player coming out of high school. And they decide to kick it deep here. They still have plenty of time. Jalen Knighton, he breaks down. Oh my, he gets speared. Somehow Jalen Knighton hanged on to that ball. Alright, so in the back of your mind, if you're in Miami, you might be thinking, man, we can't let him get the ball back here. Jerick McKinnon breaks a tackle, reverses field, and somehow gets 4 out of that. He faked everyone out. Somehow managed 4 there. If you're Florida State, you need someone to make a play. You're looking at guys like Adonis Saunders or Ja'Cory Williams. And, man, you would like him to make that tackle in the backfield. This has been one of the main issues of this defense today. They've been playing pretty well. You know, bend but don't break, but they just haven't been able to tackle. So Miami now comes out 4 wide. Obviously, you're scared of Joe Shaw there in the slot. As they go to Brashad Smith, and he drops it. So a 3 and out now for Miami. Things are getting interesting here in the 4th quarter. Interesting for sure. And Corey Wren breaks tackle. They are going to start at the 50. Are we going to see a Florida State comeback? Is Miami going to blow one of the biggest leads we've ever seen? It's still a lot of work to do. And God's Power Offer just puts Braxton in a grave. You can't run quick option on the best defensive player in the country. One of the 499 overalls in the country. You can't do that, as time is just running off this clock now. You got to score, and you got to score fast. They're still handing it off, and Jake Johnson going nowhere. And what we thought could have been some sort of a spark coming from Florida State is not looking like it. 3rd and long now. You got to have something. And Mike Evans has just been a non-factor today. Braxton, he's going deep. And double coverage, and that's going to be intercepted. Oh my. Braxton Miller throws his 2nd pick, this time to Avante Williams. Double coverage. It was just a desperation attempt to try to find Burrell, who's been the hottest receiver. And now Miami's running clock here, disrespectful in a rivalry game. Up 16, 3 minutes remaining. A huge bounce back win here for Miami, who is looking to win the ACC, whatever division they're in. I don't know the name of it, but it's either Coastal or Atlantic. But I think they're in the Coastal. Maybe they're in the Atlantic. Florida State's still using their timeout, so they still think they might have some sort of a chance. They got to have something here. Got to get the stop here. I formation. It just looks like they're going to be handing the ball off now. Gotcha. Miami's in the coastal. All right, so Florida State will get the ball back here. You got to have a big, big play. And if you are if you get to a tier 2 sub, you'll get access to the oof emoji, which is basically Florida State's offense this entire game has just been a big oof. As they go deep, though, he connects. Mike Evans. All right. Mike Evans with his first really big play on the day. They hurry the ball up. Braxton, he's going deep again, and Burrell on this side, and he breaks a tackle, as now they're inside the 10 in all of 10 seconds, and they hurry it up again. Florida State showing some life here late. This is the Braxton that's led the country in pass yards. Over the middle, Jake Johnson, he breaks a tackle, he gets the first down, time stopping. And they are rushing up to the line once again here. Can they get this into the end zone? They hand it off. Jake Johnson up the middle. Touchdown, Florida State. And they score in the matter of 30 seconds. And they got to go for 2, though. They hand it off again. Jake Johnson wide open, and this is a one-possession game. Hold it, folks. Hold it, folks. One-possession game now. Onside kick incoming. And that just goes... What was that kick? Oh, no. You just never had a chance there, and that's why you recruit a kicker, boys. What? How's Miami starting so far ahead? What? Hold on. They're starting like inside the 15. What is that? Florida State getting absolutely screwed. I've never seen a team start that far back. Miami basically starting at the 10. Oh, man. They're in shambles. FSU feeling like they got screwed. A terrible onside kick leads to the game, basically giving Miami the ball in the red zone. It did pass midfield. What are you saying? He kicked it out like the 20. So 3rd and 1, and they get the stop, but they're not going to get the ball. Even if they get the ball back, they're going to be down, as Miami's going to be able to kick this to win it and go up 2 scores. It didn't matter. No, they started at like the 15. You don't understand. Normally you start at the 35 or the 40, somewhere around there. They started inside the 20. I've never seen them start inside the 20. It went... What are you guys saying it didn't go 10 yards? That shit went to like the opposite 20. He kicked it past everyone. As the kick is up and it's good, Miami goes up 2 scores. A late heart attack as they survive. 3 seconds left. No chance at winning here. Florida State, they woke up pass interference on a I don't know, but they got screwed. Yeah, there's no PI on a kick. I think that was just the game bugging out because he kicked it so far. So, see if they can make some magic here. 3 seconds left. Braxton off the back foot, and that's almost picked, and that game is over. Florida State goes down. Their second conference loss 2 weeks in a row. And it looks like their season, as far as potentially winning the ACC, is over, as Miami gets a huge victory on the road over a rival. Miami improves to 4-2. Florida State drops to 3-3. Miami wins 27-16. Mark Liu does get player of the game. So, unfortunately, it wasn't that competitive, but we got some fireworks in the end there. Joe Shaw had an amazing second half, fourth quarter. And Mark Liu proving that he was the right choice at quarterback as he delivered a dot while getting blasted. That's going to be the game day great play of the day. Beautiful to play. Braxton turned it on way too late in the game. They finally figured it out. Just a tough loss for Llama. We'll check the stats out now. And recruits will be coming a little bit later. I have to eat dinner and stuff, but yeah, Joe Shaw, he had 2 touchdowns. Braxton Miller, 2 picks. He got a 1 on the ground. Burrell was really the only guy of note. 1 big catch for Mike Evans. Then as far as defense goes, Saunders was your player of the game. Shazier had a good game filling in. He was playing. Ja'Cory Williams didn't do anything. 2 tackles for loss isn't all that bad. And then Miami, Mark Liu, the sophomore, 3 tutties. A huge game for him. McKinnon had a decent game, touched the ball 27 times. Joe Shaw, player of the game, though. Big second half there. And 2 interceptions for this defense. God's power offer. No sacks, but he was a monster in the backfield. Yeah, I've been really impressed with Arkansas. Obviously, a tough start to the season for you, Coach Bohr, but you've had some quality wins and a big win over Colorado. That's their only loss on the season, so that's something to be really proud of. I know you're probably not going to push for this division or anything, but the way the season started, you got to be happy with the way things are looking as of right now. You're at least looking at a bowl game, which is nice. Alright, so that's going to do it for game day. Once again, guys, thanks for watching. VODs will be available on the YouTube channel tonight. My highlight video will probably come out tomorrow, as I do not work tomorrow. Let's go. Thanks for watching another game day. Recruits coming soon, and we're officially halfway through Season 10. So, who's going to be the team to watch in the second half? Yeah, thanks for watching.